on July 31st, the administration formally announced this list of new tariff rates that US importers would face on different countries. So what does it actually mean now? I think there's really two main takeaways. If you're looking at the broader picture of US trade, the amount that importers are paying in tariffs won't change too much, because even though we've seen increases in tariff rates on some countries, we've also seen decreases on other countries. So it all sort of evens out if you're looking at the bigger picture. I think what's important now is to think ahead to the next 6 months to the next year. And this is a real turning point from what we saw in April, because it shows that the administration is more serious and these rates are more likely to stay. One thing that shows just how serious the administration is about these unique tariff rates for each country is this new regulation around transshipment of goods. From now on, if a US importer imports a good and customs determines that the country that it's from is not actually the country that it's from, so in the past we've seen this with goods that are made in China being shipped to the US as if they're from Thailand or Vietnam, those goods would now face a 40% import tariff. Of course, implementing that is going to be a real challenge, and I'm eager to see details on how that's going to happen. What it does is show that the administration is serious about importers facing a set tariff for each country, and they're going to make sure as much as they can that importers are actually following that. So, what does this mean for the US economy? It brings up all of the concerns that economists had back in April when these reciprocal tariffs were initially announced. US importers are going to be paying a higher premium for their imports, which means that you could see a pass-through of these higher tariffs, which we haven't been experiencing for the last couple of months, being passed on to consumer goods. What does that mean? Inflation. And then from there, there's concerns about what is the Fed going to do with interest rates if inflation becomes a bigger risk. Now, I haven't talked about the specific rates that importers will face for each individual country, but luckily that's all outlined in our Trump tariff tracker on the Atlantic Council's website, so you can check it out there.